screening.
Is that your vote?
Okay, thank you.
That
The
was
grant
for business.
program or the installation?
Yeah, that was through MLT, right?
Right.
Oh, this is for the co-op, never mind.
I'd like to call this work session of the Plattsburgh City Council in order. I ask for your indulgence. We'll be immediately, as announced, going into executive session to address two issues. One is the Plattsburgh City Retirees Association versus the City of Plattsburgh litigation, and the other is the proposals from the arbitration panel in the matter of the firefighters in the City of Plattsburgh. So excuse us, we'll be back as soon as we can. Oh, helps to take a vote. Moved by Councillor Kelly, second by Councillor Ensel. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm here for.
It's like Joe Temple walking around with that. Look for the scoop.
I'm gonna write you up, Dale.
My middle initial. Sorry. So I'm not confused on that.
I need to drink this cup of tea before I can go on. It's cold in here.
It's always cold in there because that heater's not on.
That would be a good time for smoke, huh? See a little character. Troll soda. You've got to have one of those, one of those.
You didn't have any problems with scrapping Michelle in last time?
Nope.
Was she
We tested.
She was on that screen.
You know, she was, I can swear I left. Oh, she should really watch it sometime.
Hey, Bill.
Patty, how are you doing? Good.
She's in front of her.
What'd you say? He's off. You won't be in. Daughter, one of his little daughters having a birthday.
Huh?
So she's gone.
What? No.
How's your cleaning going?
We're gonna start that tomorrow. We're gonna start that.
We know it's
project
on
tomorrow.
purpose. We just have to get the big bags to fill it.
There are a few, things that you might want.
Power strips and stuff like that?
Yes,
absolutely.
The Mets are holding up.
If you haven't, there's lots of some kind of electronics.
The New York Mets are
Look
holding
for it
up
in.
in your
It's probably
life.
been there for 5
They're out a little runs and then I catch you.
So,
Yeah, that's.
I'll just let him make the decision, put it in a box, bring it
Thank you.
upstairs.
Hey, Jen. What's up?
most of it will probably do.
5 minutes for executive session. Oh, you want to, don't bet on this
Oh,
one?
no, salad.
Start
There
a
are lots
half
of
hour
coffee
earlier?
shops.
What's the other doing? Better. Yeah, she's still pain. Takes a while. It's only been a week since she's had her surgery. So.
One of my golf partners' wife just had a knee replacement.
Yeah.
Nor is Rigo.
Oh.
Mike says that she's
Well, I know, but if it's been there that long, yeah, I get it.
not really great.
Yeah, my next door neighbor's doing the same thing. His mother was
But
telling
they
me.
got her in a walker or something like that.
You know,
Give her support.
he thought they were gonna do his good knee first,
Yeah.
what he thought he was his knee. No. They did, do his good knee last, they do the bad one first. No, instead they did the good one. Now he's hobbling on the bad one.
Yeah, one of my other golf buddies, Mike Flynn, had both knees replaced last year. Within a month of each other.
Yeah. Well, one of the guys that worked for us, Jim Welch, had both done at the same time.
Steve, I forgot to tell you,
That's
Did well.
gutsy. That's gutsy.
He did well.
people, they're doing go home.
Did you get pop in the eye or is that one?
No, he's like, I got
Oh, broke a blood vessel.
Yeah.
God.
So he came in there to see who.
Not hurt my vision any, but
Good.
Ted probably.
don't know how to,
Just to go into.
Did he put in that?
Yeah, and we had it up.
they don't know how to problem.
The reason we had to move it was
Same old.
that issue during the.
It's almost out, I'm getting told it's almost out of the city's maintenance, we ran our camera, nothing wrong with
So.
our, so finally, we got it.
Yes, there are.
That's
I
just line.
think Mike said that, Mike, at the start was talking about that, that, yeah, we looked at the main, we looked at the entrance to his lateral, everything looked good.
Yeah, there
that would take that, yeah.
Because the streets are actually gonna be on there, I
Oh,
did it
crap.
early
Good,
because,
it's,
I mean, I'm actually.
Happening.
clay tiles, so,
Normally
at the top, on the other side, other end, up there, top right,
We,
top left, sorry,
Yeah, I'd like to get the sanitary
That's
side
right.
from there again.
other side,
Oh, the right?
yeah.
Even on a rainy day, we ended up making
Oh.
$3,000 last year.
The sweet Franklin.
We made more standing on the streets for 6 hours than we do with almost all of our other events combined.
On the bill was fine.
And
My cell phone still has an antenna.
no work involved.
No, you just stand there.
Oh,
You know,
back.
Generosity,
Right.
show 'em.
You know?
Wow.
Now swipe this way.
Yeah.
It's kind of a setting, because we do.
And you see there, there's a
Mother's Day
right
breakfast,
out the road.
Father's Day breakfast,
Wow.
and this sort of supper, and all of us
That's good.
combine.
He's blaming the city.
Well, I kept saying that the plumber, he would get the bucket,
It's
saying
kind
it's
of
all about
depressing
city.
in a way.
Oh, yeah.
And that was back up, see where they put the clean out, is it?
Way to go. Who did the digging, Garrow Brothers?
No, I think it was John Doc.
John Doe. Put the clean out there, that's smart.
Yeah.
I got one of those put in the Willow Street place.
Yeah.
When they took out the tree that was clogging the, you know, the sewer line from the house, the roots kept growing into the clay tile.
Yeah, no,
And those roots, they just love that sewer water.
that's,
You know what,
They love it.
you know what's a great tree to plant in the city, especially around sewer lines? A willow tree.
Oh, yeah.
Those are great trees. Mike loves those trees.
Loves the water.
in November, you see the
Right,
rest
yeah.
of advertised all the time.
But they chopped the tree down, you guys did.
Which is something we do.
Because,
There used to be a big willow tree in my neighbor's yard. They chopped that thing down about 4 years ago.
But
It took
it's.
them 3 or 4 days to take that sucker down.
Oh, right.
I never realized how much sunlight it did.
It takes 30.
Well, it's funny.
I know it was a typical willow.
The Garrows dug a
If each one of us.
6 by 6 by 10 foot deep hole
$50 check.
to get down to his main, it
Be a lot
was
less
deep.
trouble.
It'd be a lot
So
less
it was lateral,
trouble.
coming from the basement though. And, once they dug the hole, they said, okay, we gotta stop working because we're undermining the
We only
tree.
did one intersection.
And it's like, it's leaning this way, so it's like
Oh, you
we're afraid
did
to
all
fall.
three?
And that's what your guys
One
are
intersection.
doing down.
We made like 3,000.
But when they,
And you're yelling, undermine it, undermine it.
well, when they hooked the lateral back up to the main, they also put a clean out right there on the curb.
Well, so
the person's
the trick is.
Outside.
Good idea.
I think.
Did you do the one on Beekman and?
Haven't had
No,
a
we did the one down here.
And
Talk too loud.
I had a road and route
Well, I guess
that
that
once
was
a
busy,
year.
but I always think of Beekman just being so busy because you're
Once a
gonna
year.
use up and down.
So
And,
we,
you know, it's always so,
I think we
you
lucked
know,
out
the
because
tenants
the
probably
golf course
flushing
happened to have.
stuff down. I don't want to say.
Oh.
They got there, they come back with all these black tree roots.
Well, you know, the worst things they can flush
We
down
were handing out.
are those wet
It was
ones.
actually an invitation.
Oh, really?
There's those
It
diaper
kind of
wipes and
worked
stuff.
as a.
They don't
Yeah, I already
Buy
gave
your
you.
grade, right?
No, not like they claim to do.
No.
They mess up, they clog up pipelines, they clog up the grinder at the sewage treatment
We
plant.
got a major battle with Lake Forest over that.
We're throwing those in there.
So I throw them in there, it's one and clogged the pump station up. So I'm gonna go after them. They gotta stop doing that here, but they, you know, we got people in these rooms, and they just flush them down the toilet.
That's it.
Well, you read in the back of the instructions, it says you can flush them down the toilet,
Yeah.
just like toilet paper. But I found, I read an article later that it said,
They don't buy your grade.
well, it's not biodegradable, they clog up the pipelines,
Yep.
the grinder, planting, which is where World War II battles fought. They're complaining, they're getting inundated with bags of garbage.
Somebody donated that.
Nice though, it's a nice club.
From where any of the countries that are around the Pacific, they dump it in there, and the waves drain it and dump it on the beaches.
All the currents all take there.
There was already a bolt there.
Did you get?
It's like,
Upstairs, the test.
all that damage that was done in Japan when they had that tsunami
Yeah.
I
with
just
the
wondered how much is that gonna cost?
nuclear power plant. All that waste that got washed out, wound up in Oregon and Washington. I don't think California got any of it, but the northern ones got it.
Well,
Came right across the Atlantic, even a boat came along with it.
It was off by the plants. The hottest they've ever seen, as far as, radiation.
Oh,
See
really?
that?
So, you know,
Yeah.
it's been costing for 50
Yeah.
years. and
It's
we're
really
not-
awful. Why?
Before 50 years, it'll take him that long.
They put a robot in there and the
I would
robot's
love
there.
to see-
Did you spot upstairs? Cause I saw him running upstairs
Yeah.
as well. So I
We
didn't
can't
know
do
if
it
they
See
every
did.
that,
day, right? Because that's just wood floor.
They
Yeah, I heard about
They
it.
can't cool it
I didn't go
down.
up the top
No,
of the stairs.
it's,
The only,
Like he did that one step
yeah,
down
there's
there.
that one idea, there's that one level, that top.
Well, that's stuff that got sucked out of the plant.
That red,
So it's
that
not
rubber
washed
off,
down,
did you do those floors?
I think it's still not down
Back
there.
in here?
No, not the
What are you
plant.
doing,
This is something that got sucked out of the plant into the ocean and it sailed over to, it's either Oregon or Washington and washed up on the shore there.
is that hot?
Yeah, it's probably one of the rods
Yeah.
for the plant.
I don't think
And you gotta keep it cool.
Yeah.
Or, you know, that's what caused 3 Mile Island. They screwed up and they lowered the water table and the rods got super hot and then when they realized, whoops, we got a boo-boo. Too late.
So this rod is
The whole thing's
exposed and you can't get to it because it's that hot.
Well, they're gonna have to,
You're sending robots in to pick it up and melting them?
The better robots, they can throw Fukuyama
Well, you
runs
know.
on a site.
Have you been behind that bathroom? That bathroom is actually.
Airline pulled out of
Well, it used to be-
Fukuyama
it used to be
over
super-
radiation worries.
When they had events, they used to have like
Says
sort of
real-
kitchen area.
Nuclear reactor radiation at the highest levels
The
is
space
2,000
itself, the original tile and everything is there, so behind that
Right,
big wall.
but that's what Keith said, it used to be, they used to have slots,
There you go.
big, not slots, and big sink, and there was
Now,
no.
Atmosphere reads as high as 530
We've had restrooms up there before, though.
yeah.
I mean, I say that.
That's really bad.
So they're sending robots into the plant to try and,
What they do,
Oh, there's no methods.
they melt.
they so hot.
What they're gonna have to do is do what the Russians do. But they gotta do a better job than the Russians
I
and
haven't
put that thing in a
gotten
concrete sarcophagus.
They can survive, it's so, it's enormous. They've got a real major problem.
6 months to be
Yeah,
worried about it.
probably.
Sorry.
You've heard of the
I
China.
may just.
I was just-
Yeah.
Burn right through the core of the earth.
Yeah, I mean, at least use it when
Nothing to stop
I'm
them.
just.
So that's, I haven't read, I've been waiting
The
to
core
do
of
it.
the earth.
But
Well, they tried that at Chernobyl. That's what got them
Hey, he
into
doesn't
trouble.
look scared for sure.
Yeah,
They were playing games with the reactor.
This year I got already.
Well, actually, they call it experiments.
that's good though.
Oh,
But
it's
their
great.
experiment
Yeah,
got away
it's
from
got access into
Now,
that.
now it's patched back up, it looks good again.
We're gonna work on it, because someone's got to been big
So the
slice.
single dose of one sievert
About the lights.
is enough to
That
cause
light
radiation to the
content.
cells.
Here's what I, so
Five
it's in the
sieverts
control.
kill half those
And
explosives.
It's actually in that switch that's on the wall.
It's at
So that
500
needs to be
something.
replaced, but here's what I have figured out,
So you have
is that
hours.
it only does.
Yeah, you done it for your job?
It'll stay
Be
on.
like Spock.
A dose of 10 sieverts will be fatal.
That's what I figured out.
Yeah, but he had to be rewarded again.
Hit the bumper off, it'll stay off, but if you put it down, it'll be off.
But you didn't see the second Star Trek movie?
'Cause the other night.
The new versions that are out.
No.
The light in the office, so when I came.
This-
in,
this-
morning,
the second
it was
one
not.
Was a replay of the Spock incident.
There, that little control
Yeah,
switch.
instead of Spock going into the
So,
chamber
It's.
to save the Enterprise, it was Kirk this time that went in.
Put it all the way up.
And,
And it stays on.
He went in there and, Spock was in the command chair and
Last week.
the Enterprise is falling out of the sky. In fact, Kirk comes into the Earth's atmosphere
That
and
is cool.
there's nothing holding it, it goes right down and it crashes through a cloud and you get this bang, you think it,
So who was that?
and the next minute, it comes back up on
So, what sound? Was
on his engines.
Saturday the.
Because Kirk keeps the thing back into place again.
Sunday the.
And then Spock gets told,
So,
he needs to come down to the engine room right away.
like,
Yes, and he wants to open the door and Scotty says no.
so,
It's
we may have.
Well,
variation of what they do in the.
But they made a change with it.
That's funny.
Because in the original movie, it was Khan and Khan's ship blew up because he had the thing on it that caused the explosion.
1 o'clock.
Well, in this version, they catch Khan.
And, picked up the kids at school.
He crashes his starship into
The next day, which is
uh,
Saturday. launch is.
San Francisco, and,
So I'm like watching on the phone.
They scrub.
Spock's
Good.
been there to go
10
after
seconds to
him.
go.
They're
Like,
running
as
over
my
San
son is, like,
Francisco,
gonna
and
do
he's
it,
trying to
like,
catch this
watching it,
guy,
I'm like,
cause he's superhuman, and,
He's counting down like 13,
And
12,
McCoy gets on
11,
and
10,
says,
and you're, hold.
we need him back here alive, don't kill him.
That's so cool.
So, he finally gets him and
Yeah.
starting belts him,
We stayed
and,
we stayed in St. Augustine.
his girlfriend Aurora
Yeah.
shows up and
She's like, we're not
starts
going
zapping him.
What did
And then
you-
he starts getting groggy, and the next thing he
Right.
gets a big chunk of metal.
I was, well,
Oh,
so we got in at like 10 o'clock.
Spot kids.
Saturday
Yeah,
night.
then they'll show the part, they bring him back, now you're in the hospital room with Spock there, and Kirk is starting to come out of it.
Went to St.
And
Augustine.
McCoy says, you feel like you need world domination, take over the world and stuff like that? And you're,
I'm normally in two.
he says, no. He says, why? Well, we gotta use Khan's blood, because your blood was destroyed,
I was
to
in,
bring you back.
that's because my son, I was
So Kirk doesn't die and get reborn.
Yeah, see, and Khan doesn't, Khan and his people don't die.
Absolutely.
Khan's the only one that's revived out of the,
I've been to
the chambers, out of the sleep chambers,
tour.
and they promptly put him back again, in behind a vaulted door, never to be opened again.
Yeah, it was
Lock 'em up.
Lock him up, leave him there.
almost 2 hour drive for me to get there. We were there at 5:30.
You didn't go down there just for that, though, did you?
When did they
Yeah.
say,
Oh,
bring
yeah.
out these interviews?
They started about 5-6 years ago.
Oh, bucket list.
They're down to the third one already.
I saw the original.
That's so cool.
I think it's.
Well, this was the reboot, because they decided to go back
Regular,
and, redo it.
That's really cool.
But now they got a problem for the fourth one.
Yep, totally.
Because the guy that played Chekhov got himself killed right after the movie was done. He was, his vehicle rolled over him or something.
Yeah, his Jeep.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, so I don't
so,
have the same recall problem with that.
Two Jeeps, 2 feet at most.
Would shift into driver reverse
Yeah,
automatic,
actually, that,
just sitting
with
there.
this.
If you had it in park, you had the engine right there, it would shift. And yeah, it crushed him. And killed him.
kill him. So they have to get a new Chekhov.
Yeah.
But he was, that was great in the role. He did it perfectly. But, they gotta get another one. Well,
He got crushed in by his own Jeep.
it's the same thing like, Star Wars. They're gonna have the same problem because now, the Princess Leia has passed away. But, she didn't do it until after,
Friday and Saturday before.
She died the next day.
well, she died of a broken heart. That's not unusual.
17, 18.
And they were very close. Not usual for a child to die before the parents.
Probably walking around
It really affected her bad.
Yeah.
So, they don't know how this movie's gonna end.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have Princess
Do you have to buy one?
Yeah, well, they killed off Han Solo.
It's funny.
You get too old.
Can't fly his own airplanes anymore if they get into trouble.
Well, that's another problem.
He's crashed one, just.
I think,
It's like taxi.
Like putting spells on stuff.
over at 747, yes, he really screwed that one up.
That's supposed to be a.
It's like
Yeah, well, I think his flying days are over, because I think the
Take it
FAA,
home, I
well,
chopped
even
it up and
something
I
like
put
that, the
it
FAA
on.
usually yanks your license.
I made it go on.
Oh, they don't suspend it, they yank your license, you don't even see it.
I made it on.
And an actual film flying over that.
That's the problem, yeah, it's too obvious.
He said it was flying over. That's supposed to be in Hogwarts. And I know it's there. No, you're landing on the taxiway.
I don't know how you can make that mistake. It's obvious to tell the right with those.
It's happens more often.
Hogwarts and the, so the Gringotts and both of those
I never
are.
had that problem when I was flying.
Theme park.
I mean, the runways had numbers at the end, on the end, did you know?
So I
Where
picked
you
that up,
going?
like,
Yeah.
and so we did the kid swap, because my daughter was too little to go on it, she didn't want to.
Oh, Richard.
So we, so we
Did
did
you-
the kid swap thing,
did
so
I
my
submit
wife
those
goes, I didn't tell her a thing about
Did
it.
you see
She
it?
goes
Did you
on.
even look?
I didn't look at it
And,
yet. We had everything done for the.
this thing, it says
Yeah, no,
exactly
but I
what
don't know if I did it, I just wanna make sure that,
Yeah.
you know.
I think they both, they're not, they're not one and two, they're.
Oh, they are there for review, that's all I care, that they went, they got it through. Okay, because remember the first one I did,
Mr.
Brody, hello, how are you? Good, how are you?
Did you get a chance to get on the speed on? So, very similar. The majority of it happens.
Somebody wrote about you?
Kind of like and,
I mean, you know
uh,
what I mean, Mike?
cases there are some but it.
I don't think, I would have been in the deal I would like to have bought up.
The scale, it's gotta be 100 foot.
I would have been so helpful. Yeah, I'm sure you would have.
Kinda, but you feel much more when you're sitting in a truck. They literally drive a truck into it.
As far as all in there, executive
And,
secretary,
you
doctor,
know,
thing.
it's sitting on some actually, but the screens are all around you.
If they're
And
going on that, it's-
they're huge. Bigger. And it's same kind of thing, you get that same kind of emotion.
Yeah, I guess so.
They're Spider-Man, right? Various situations.
Stop at Jurassic Park. We're just, the kids, they like demanded they're gonna go there.
No, thanks.
Did you run the train?
Are we using it right now? Are we starting?
I don't know.
Is this meeting rolling on the right?
So you walk, you start part where you're walking through the wall and look at your.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Literally,
I know.
we got off that train at, well, I guess Universal or whatever. Yeah.
How many do they want now?
So she turns, it goes into what looks kind of like a restaurant, which ends up being Diagon Alley.
Oh, yes, yeah, right there, right, yeah, that big cross station.
Yes, so she's like, oh, wait, that's where we're supposed to go.
Yeah.
Well, you stand in protest right on the sidewalk. Prevent people from getting in.
That's correct.
Going for the, controlling the agenda, but part of something that was they were just not so,
There's full of lawyers, but it's just a name on it.
For me, looking at
My sidewalk, it's like you're blocking my customers from coming in, by the way. You can't protest this, I mean, we're lawyers.
so, in each of those rides,
Yeah.
you go up until there's actually
There should be protests, should be more than. Bottom feeders.
That was so I bring it side, and they tell them you have hundreds of people, they'll wrap around the last county in the party and you go up the right.
The guy, I got a guy who was
You just hear it's actually in there, basically, but at the end. I can barely see it. The other side, you tell them you want to, what it's.
Wow.
There's a castle.
You gotta trim it, you gotta trim a hole in that.
So, my son, of course, doesn't use anything that draws attention to him, so I have dad.
That was adorable. What street is that on?
And we get down there and my dad, I think that probably serious. Yeah, exactly.
Who's responsible?
I didn't pick up from work.
Anything there?
And there's another one too, so. The Men in Black ride.
Well, what,
Had to write the time.
you know, what would be great to do is get, just cut holes in the center of all that. Just round it out so you can see the stop sign. Let it grow out and around it.
The problem is, if there's a traffic accident, somebody gets killed there.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So we're gonna go up with that.
I didn't know it's
Or it
first
should
time.
fall matter.
I found it out a little while ago.
So it's,
So you can see the stop sign.
yeah, safety first.
Yeah, we paid $300.
He has to be somewhat reasonable.
That's a lot.
You know,
It's probably the last 8 years. We're just like, we just don't spend change, I mean, at the end of the day, just put in a bucket, you know?
Yeah. And I wish I could say.
We need every penny for that.
I'll try to like.
So that's,
down in the
So
bottom.
I'm down there, so I
So the line.
I gotta stop.
Yeah, bicycle, but.
So we had done our tour guides with that.
Did you damage them?
She actually
No.
said, "Do you guys want to ride it?" I'm like, we
Well,
have
no,
one.
there's
Yes.
not-
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, what do?
All you gotta do is
You can cut the chains,
Harder.
bolt cutter, just, no, bike.
They call it like an open
It's all,
secret.
maybe I can get them, just like they
Well,
do
that's
cars.
kind of fun.
They won't advertise that.
Yeah. So somewhere Universal has a paper, you talking about right down here on that somewhere.
But,
$45 impoundment fee.
Who knows what they'll do?
My last bitch.
Yeah. I didn't realize about Universal side, but that is still a-
Oh, yeah.
I showed that one, she'll be down there over there. This spring or this summer.
That's what I, that's so. So we're 3 miles away.
Hey, look at the level of.
Tell Rocky.
All the Washington Street Road
he did that himself.
SpaceX. Oh, it's the International Space Station resupply.
SpaceX is.
He's gonna share that with you, right?
Steve, you were there for that?
Yeah, we,
What possessed him to do that?
they scripted.
Just a second.
If not talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Where are the-
Like the level of jubilation.
She's like,
I'm like, you can sleep in, and they're going and having, we're gonna have, what they're doing is automated
our
resupply,
friends were.
equipment, but
They got
nothing
stuck
with human
where
passengers.
they were Charlotte and then
And
like monopolies
So,
on the launch.
SpaceX.
They were waiting, they got scrubbed.
Some people have money to burn, literally.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Now we're gonna have to burn some.
With that back up,
Yeah.
SpaceX announced, oh yeah, we're gonna send Super Bowl rounding the wedding contract and, you know, they said you had to do NASA sent out a typical.
I got to see it.
We are thrilled from SpaceX to for.
Volunteer telephone.
You know, I don't remember. We got the second bus that they had. One line that, however, it's got the launch and deliver on the contract. Pretty unloaded, I don't know why it was on there. Like the, our bus driver, we all got out, and I just found like, it's like, I didn't know where I was going. All of a sudden, like, in the bleacher area, nobody's there. Which we didn't pick up, so we ended up picking,
This is on the base.
Yeah, it's over by the, on the old,
Yeah, we used to be there, then we got out of there, we're underground. I think that's back on. Well,
he's a little
yeah, that's telephone and cable TV. Good luck. Yeah, the last, one day, a few years ago, I go home with my Kinley to look at a problem. The homeowner came out and said, "Would you believe there was a pole here that was damaged during the ice storm? And you guys put a new pole, this new one in. Verizon only showed up 2 days ago, transferred their stuff off the old pole onto the new pole."
Okay, I know. Of course I bought it, nice. Right in front of
This is around 2008.
Yeah.
10 years later, took them 10 years to do 2 hours worth
I
of
always
work.
wanted to see a rocket launch.
I know.
I don't usually specifically, but yeah. My son is.
Well, that's like they were coming down, they had their lines coming down the right side of Route 9.
He just
We
has.
we transferred over to the left side,
You should.
and it took mayors,
Yes. He like.
Mayor Stewart, and I think Mayor Cassidy, years to get to the finally, take down their line to move them over to the other side of the street.
big outlay.
Well, that's what they say, we're going broke.
It's not even challenged.
It's like, oh, right.
Is it cold? A little longer.
Like, he's not even push, he's not challenged.
Yeah, I know.
It's great. He's been projects.
actually went down to see some
I remember myself going like, oh,
Yeah.
it's cold out there today. We can go out our door, you walk up those.
even if there's a two,
You know, that work is out,
one direction to that building, you're gonna get north wind rates at least 18,000.
I don't think we're going that far.
So the math science.
Based on what?
It's not much of a priority. Cutler, get it done.
They haven't even presented, they get most of their evidence. Who planned, who knows?
Absolutely.
I wouldn't read any,
It's down.
there's a 5 North Koreans, dead out of the security department because, their leader just doesn't like them. Yeah, well, I think they have 5 that would be lined up and used to hit the aircraft carriers to, execute them.
What they pumped off the bottom was like, you guys ever seen?
Oh, I gotcha.
Where's it at? In the seesaw. Where? I didn't know what to expect, like, I thought it was another thing, the one that's
Was it
the
the
name.
Scoop the template?
They have, it has its own scoop and it's like, the whole display is kind of geared toward what they got geared for this entire store. I didn't realize, like,
Usually
that
call
it was like that. So I was kind of impressed, so they don't
They call it Scoop.
It's possible.
What did they call them today?
What's the scoop?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the truth for that.
What's the scoop, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen my own version of fake news, where I get quoted on things that I don't even remember even saying.
Me too. Me too. Yeah, that's.
Yes.
Okay, now. Has to do it 3 times this summer. They're gonna be back, they are gonna be back.
Oh, okay.
Hey, this is mine. My cat's already missing Max and was pissed off.
Well, why didn't you just say, I heard a rumor?
So down, guns out, baby.
I love it, they all have a building now. Restaurants.
This is back here now.
Come on, Brad.
I'm tired of not sitting over there. You're gonna be in trouble.
I love it, like what's his name said.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Don't read the paper, you're on for. Read the paper. Well, that's what Washington said. Let's not go down that path again.
I said, I hope they don't come out of executive session. She said.
Five,
"It's all
please,
done."
guys.
Oh.
That's just one. Back in charge of that.
Here's what happens, what if somebody only uses 2 minutes? How do you start it again? You got a good one, 2 of them, yeah, you got that one and then there's alternate.
Doesn't matter, I mean, they're probably gonna be executive session till like 5:30. I was reading, they started at 4:30, so. You guys wanna go to the Pacific?
Yeah. How many degrees apart? We don't talk about that's a good subject. I never mentioned war. But he says it's one good thing. He says, no matter what administration you go, all of us know you have jobs. I was reading the story today. The DC is still fighting for 46 trucks. Well, the 29 of them were ambulances, and the others were all fire trucks.
One person.
Lady that does the certification, the validation or whatever they call it, and then they can go with them.
No, I don't even know.
It's just one page.
Every time, yeah, focus here is on
It's to, provide intelligence or provide. Okay, that's it. Okay, other than that, everything's good. Okay, thank you. You're welcome, Kurt.
We inspect it every year. Well, bring in the manufacturers back. Things that we got, we got a wild tax, or we bought primarily just doing inspections on the check that, certified. And then we bring in a company in August, they come in and they do the electric test. They're out of Wisconsin. So they usually want you to do us maybe 96 trucks. Those trucks, they have to be treated a certain way. They were lining, trying to go around. One of the deadliest jobs. The most dangerous are the guys that go out to the clans and out of the Bering Sea and so forth. That was the most dangerous. I think we came up with this.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Well, you should get to the line and
I don't know,
feel-
that's why I mean, that's 5 years old.
It's a short time.
They're really
Well, you got. The shortcut was, got away with it. They tried it again, got away with it. This was a case of one, where this in Massachusetts, finally, they wanted to keep it practice. One day, they get away with we had it in one case from a line, 2 years ago, yes. Wire falls on the ground, bare wire. It took not very long. Never made that mistake. I mean, the one thing that I'm telling you is, if they tell you the power is on, you have to assume the power is on until you verify, yes.
I've had 0 for 10 years. That's the only way to know.
You're gonna say, you know, what's why?
Right, you're in a.
Really look at it.
And now, it won't go after change. They won't.
Right.
They automatically lose it. Well, that's what it used to be.
Well, I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's.
It's like voltage. Yes. That goes with it. No, I get that one time too. I heard that one time, twice it was worse. I heard around, here's the why. It's whipping, hitting the ground, snapping, and bouncing back up again. And people are trying to turn around. Yes. You're trying to just.
So why right, they.
Oh, yeah, that was over there, by Jones.
Still, it's a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, just because parking doesn't necessarily mean the trip all the way back to the circuit, the substation. Sometimes it will, sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. And you can't be sure.
That's
The
the.
thing that got me, have a couple of years ago, cool call, I was like, I got a call.
New York State, out of separate from big cities.
Why? You know, the tree, I go over there, barricades, and it was total.
These big cities, these big buildings.
Yeah, that's no problem, you know. So the next day, outside Beacon Street, one of the halls there, I'm driving around and I hear this call come in that they're talking about a line down. And I said, well, let me go take a look. And I go, no city comes around anyway. Now, here's the student walking over this wire. And it turns out to be a live YouTube pulse on it. It was a second like that. They look at it like, now they have a live situation here. This thing pops up right over. Oh, yeah. We went from that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Are y'all here?
I called up when I said, you can't believe this. This will take me forward to be a big issue to it. This one is really live.
Wait for my official minutes, but to override.
Yeah, well, yeah. Thanks for the nation.
They need to make a proposal.
Then when you're
Voting on it, he said, Bruce is the person.
I said, Bruce.
I know.
Bruce, there's always bitching about the same thing, we're bitching about.
You can show me out the window.
Do me a favor.
Me?
No, me. Yours isn't very far. No, it's true. That's true.
You have to look at both sides, you really do. And you've got issues, they've got issues, and
One is on
if you don't understand each
Yeah,
other's
there's building
side,
for sale on Market.
you're never going to be able to deal with the other side.
So that's what happened.
It's an old bank building with the driveway swing down, it's a big right up.
No, I was just gonna say the same thing to you.
Just we get it for.
Well, I know, but yes. You know, I always suggest, you know.
I know.
Huh?
It used to be that way one.
Yeah, I know. So what would you like the story?
All these Russians that supposedly no one ever talked to.
Since old age. Well, lot of them died, a lot of them are dying in their own careers, since old age. Well, actually, no, they're dying from accidentally being in front of a, in the air conditioning. Fire.
I want to find out the stuff that was in the pattern.
It's a weapon of mass destruction. It's very, yeah, just a drop, kill you. Now, supposedly they had it on their hands, but they must have been wearing gloves.
Worse than that. It's worse than that.
Yeah, he was dead, he was dead within moments of the touch.
They touched my face and I feel this.
Don't tell, your brother says hello. Yeah. But even like now, different sides of this panel, they
I tried to change my watch back. It's like, what are you gonna say? It's so amazing.
Does it take a special type of wrench
I
to
had
take
to
off?
YouTube it. You need a tiny little flathead screwdriver. And you use a mallet to, you know, there's a little indentation where you put it, and it pops open.
So, because you have to take it
To a jeweler.
dealer who sells that watch, you can try to sell you one while you're there, you know? Maybe.
So we're coming out of executive session. We discussed but made no decisions in the matter of the Plattsburgh City Retirees Association versus the City of Plattsburgh, and also in the discussion of the arbitrators' potential awards in the firefighters union and the City of Plattsburgh. Let's continue on with the work session. We've got a few minutes to discuss any items that you'd like to have a little bit further open discussion before we begin our official meeting.
No, but thanks for all of the backup information and all the email clarification. That was helpful, just so you know that we think about it before we come.
5 more minutes.
Oh, okay. Didn't even think to look. You like that?
Great.
Yeah, me too. I actually don't even know. Is there anyone here? Oh, yes, yes.
Is that a year today? Yeah, it's 216. Well, actually, that's, there's a separate fee. There's a fee for the parking space and then there's a fee for cable. Yeah, it looks like that's 2016.
It was just like right here. Just look, I didn't realize something. It's his birthday.
There are 13, yeah.
My youngest son. But it was. Oh, really? Yeah. Did you wish him a happy birthday? Yes, because I haven't wished her a happy birthday. I gotta remember that when I get out of here. I'd shoot her a text, but I left my phone. How old is he?
He's 25.
Okay.
The caller doesn't have to have that. They just have
I've seen him at times this morning.
Probably just summarize.
Okay, look at him. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then I called him, but it wasn't read it. He did text me. Okay. Oh.
said, can we talk on the phone later? I said, sure. I said, what's the best time? He said, anytime between 1 and 6. So I called him about 1:15. He said, Dad, I'm in a meeting. Can I call you back at 4? I said, yeah, I think that'll work. But he never called me back.
Okay. There, well, at least you've acknowledged. You've done more than I have. Yeah, well, they know. We celebrated last week, but
Does she live around?
she lives in New York.
Yeah.
She came up to Albany for a wedding thing, and we went down there to I haven't acknowledged the actual birthday.
I'm not gonna do
How often do you get to see her?
Oh, sure. We probably go down there. Her living situation is there's no room. We probably go 4 times a
That's my thing, so sure.
I have a son who lives in Connecticut also, and I make a point to go see him once a month. But the truth of the matter is I go see my granddaughter.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, okay. See, I do that almost every day.
Oh, that's
She's single. She travels a lot for pleasure, so when she gets vacation time, she takes off. And she works. She's learned if you're good, she works 2 jobs.
What does she do down there?
She's she's the case. So
They live here, he's half minutes with the town.
Yeah.
Has
all, nobody's names except
Hey, Jinx.
hopes of recovery. So the school,
School's all right. It's really busy.
Yeah.
they're fighting, and they're maintaining. She worked in a water shelter. That's a movie into itself. Very upscale. It's on the Upper East Side.
Bound and determined. She said, the other things I want to go downstairs. We've got a home. All the meals are taken. The ones I cook. Except when you're 20 years.
Really?
I'd like to call the meeting to order, the regular meeting of the Common Council of the City of Plattsburgh, New York. We begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ask for roll call, please.
Mayor Reed?
Present.
Counselor Armstrong?
Here.
Counselor Kelly?
Here.
Counselor Dowdle?
Here.
Counselor Ensel?
Here.
Counselor Casper?
Here.
Counselor Kretzer?
Here.
Resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of the Common Council held on February 23rd, 2017 are approved and placed on file among the public records of the city clerk's office.
Motion by Councilor Dowdle, second by Councilor Ensel. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolved that the payrolls of the various departments of the city of Plattsburgh for the week ending March 1st, 2017 in the amount of $463,542.68 are authorized and allowed, and the mayor and the city clerk are hereby empowered and directed to sign warrants drawn on the city chamberlain for the payment thereof.
Moved by Councilor Casper, second by Councilor Dowdle. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Resolved that the reports as listed are hereby ordered, received, and placed on file among the public records of the city clerk's office.
Moved by Councilor Armstrong, second by Councilor Ensel. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. You'll see here, and if any of you need a set of or the agenda, you can find one just right outside. I'm signing my name to a proclamation recognizing the importance of regular colorectal cancer screenings and to encourage you all to have that done. And we're very grateful for some of the research and awareness to try to solve this disease that afflicts a lot of people in Clinton County. Audit of claims.
Resolved that the bills audited by the Common Council for the week ending March 3rd, 2017 in the amount of $1,006,471.53 are authorized and allowed, and the mayor and city clerk are hereby authorized and directed to sign warrants drawn on the city chamberlain for the payment thereof.
Moved by Councillor Kelly, second by Councillor Dowdell. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. This is the part of the agenda where we invite anybody who'd like to speak to the council to please come forward. We ask you at this part of the public comment period to address only items that are actually on the agenda. There'll be another public comment at the end of the meeting for any other items of your concern. And we ask you to please confine your comments to 5 minutes. Kurt, you looking to come on? Yep.
Hi, I'm Kurt Gervich. I'm Associate Professor at SUNY Plattsburgh, and I'm representing the Plattsburgh Power Project and the Utility Smart app that I think Jesse Filer has been before the board to talk about before. We thank you for your support, as well as support from the different utilities from Bill Tracy and Richard Marks and Jonathan Ruff and so on. Our request today is to be approved to put a mailing into the May Chamberlain utility bill that introduces people to the app and directs them how to download it and how to use it, as well as directs them to a brief online survey that would collect some information about how people use electricity, water, and trash in the city. All that information will be made available to the city and to the utilities for their use. And then the purpose of the app and the mailing we'd like to insert also is to raise awareness and appreciation for the work that our utilities and the staff of those utilities perform, which is a key gateway for many people to the natural environment and interaction with natural resources.
Okay.
So take any questions or I'll sit down. Thanks.
Billy? Yes, thanks, Kurt.
Sure. Thank you.
Anybody else like to address the council today? Seeing none, please continue.
Resolved in accordance with the request, therefore the Common Council approves 2017 street drives.
Moved by Councillor Kretzer, second by Councillor Kelly. Discussion.
I just want to bring up, not that this comment, it's something that I've deliberated upon just after having a conversation with a constituent. There's someone in my area that really feels very strongly that this is a dangerous practice, and that the people who collect the money near the intersections are really in harm's way. And I would just like, if possible, for our acting chief to comment on that, just because I want that person and any other who feels that way to be reassured. If you don't mind coming to the podium? Thank you.
I don't believe we've ever had an incident, pedestrian vehicle accident or incident or any injuries as a result of this. I think more than safety risk people, comments I've received, people get a little frustrated that, if they're going back and forth to the store or something, they could potentially go through an intersection where people are collecting money multiple times. That would be the extent of it.
Thank you very much.
And typically if you donate money, they usually give a little something that you put on your dashboard so that when you go through, they've noticed that you've already.
Alleviate that.
How are they made conscious of the safety issue? The individuals, is there some sort of education that's provided to them, or?
For the people collecting the money?
Yeah, I mean, the organizations, do they coach their volunteers on how to maintain safety when doing such?
I don't know what
wonder?
kind of instruction they receive, but I know they wear traffic safety vests. They typically will have cones set up in the intersection down the center line of the highway or the roadway.
Okay.
Are there any guidelines, I guess, along those lines too? And I guess we might go to Councilor Kretzler's point. Almost, and I hate to say, you know, we're talking about 16 to 18-year-olds in some cases. Almost kind of the intimidation factor where if a car is stopped, do they automatically approach the vehicle, or do they wait for some sort of signal or somebody waving a dollar bill out the window or what have you to them? Or do they, once they're stopped at traffic, do they immediately come towards the vehicle?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of instruction they get. My personal experience is that you know, if I want to give them money, I'll roll down the window, I'll display it to them. I've never had them walk up to my car while I'm parked at or stopped at a stoplight. Nothing that aggressive. It's you know, more.
But I think it might be a good idea to maybe have that
Right.
as part of the guidelines or something that.
I think in some major cities they'll come up and the window
Right.
washers will come up.
Right.
Nothing like that has
Right.
ever happened. So.
Councilor Ensel, you volunteering to help us develop some policy?
I would be glad to do that.
I appreciate that. We can put something together then.
Mayor, there is currently a resolution with policy on it. Now, if you want to change it, that's completely up to you. You should probably just review that
Take a look
first.
at it.
It's part of the application that needs to be filled out?
No, it's not part of the application, but there's a resolution that enables the street drives to start initially, and it does have cones and, you
Okay.
know, placement of cones from public works. You have to wear some kind of identification on you.
Right.
And just from personal experience, if you don't, on Road Wind, you can see it, I've never done a post unless I'm actually,
But,
that's just.
but that resolution is available to any applicant? Is that, you provide that
That's
to?
what I provide for people who ask for
Yes.
information about participating in the
Okay.
street drive, yes.
Good.
I'll be happy to send it to all of you.
Thank you.
So there are no guidelines though about approaching a vehicle without, on the application or,
Well, the application is just the application.
Or the guidelines.
Within that are part of the resolution, no, they don't directly address approaching the vehicle, but it does have to do with homes, street, corner intersections that are involved, the age of the participants, identification of the participants.
thank you.
Mr. Brody, you want to add something?
Public Works provides traffic cones and the vests for the street drives. They come up to our office, pick them up, and return them.
Thank you.
I'm a veteran of street drives and I like them. And never has there ever been any sort of problem with a motorist being impeded or hindered in any way, as far as I know, by any street drive. The persons that I've done it with have done it in the past. They know the ropes, so to speak. They share that information, and it's always gone really, really well. And the way that you establish rapport with the drivers, you look them in the eye. If they look at you, that means they might be willing to give money. If they don't, stay away. And generally speaking, a person in a beat-up old Toyota will give more money than a person in a big Lexus SUV.
That's my Toyota you're talking about.
God bless you, Becky.
You want to just give them something now? Or?
Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Counselor Armstrong?
Yes.
Counselor Kelly?
Yes.
Counselor Dowdle?
Yes.
Counselor Ensel?
Yes.
Counselor Casper?
Yes.
Counselor Kretzer?
Yes.
Resolved in accordance with the request, therefore, the Common Council approves that the Mayor and Environmental Manager John Ruff are authorized to sign all necessary documentations to obtain reimbursement funding for Akey landfill closure grant.
Moved by Councilor Armstrong, second by Councilor Casper. Discussion. Mr. Ruff, would you mind just reminding the public about this issue, and the compensation that the city will be receiving on this?
You want to come up here?
Sure, please.
Yeah, thanks to Mr. Ruff and Mr. Marks for reminding us of the terms of this reimbursement in email, but
Sure.
public deserves to know.
Starting back in 1998, the state wanted us to reclose the Yankee landfill, which had been out of service for 20-some years. It was going to be a $5 million plus project. They had a municipal landfill grant closure program that was in place, which would provide 50% funding. However, the program didn't have any funding in it because they'd given all the money away. So we've been going round and round with the state about whether it really needed to be closed or not. Eventually, the ARA programs came into place. So we got 50% funding through ARA for reclosing the landfill. But we kept our application for the municipal landfill grant closure program active. We stayed in touch with the state, and eventually some of the communities who had received money didn't use it all. It went back into the program. We worked our way up the funding list. So we're now getting 50% reimbursement for the 50% part we had to pay previously. So basically now we've ended up with 75% plus or minus funding for the
And
Iggy.
Mr. Marks commended you for keeping that application open.
Alive
So
and
thank
well,
you.
Sure, thanks. So, yeah, it's good news.
And the public might know that we'll be continuing monitoring that site as part of the regular duties of your
Correct.
office.
Yep.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John. Any questions? Roll call.
Counselor Armstrong?
Yes.
Counselor Kelly?
Yes.
Counselor Dowdle?
Yes.
Counselor Ensel?
Yes.
Counselor Casper?
Yes.
Counselor Kretzer?
Yes.
Resolved in accordance with the request, therefore the Common Council approves Friends of Saranac River Trail, Inc. to place a one-page insert introducing the Utility Smart App, Plattsburgh Power, History and Action for the Future in utility billings for the month of May. There will be no cost to the city except additional handling time to insert the flyer.
Moved by Councilor Casper, second by Councilor Armstrong. Discussion.
Kurt, what is the app actually called? Is it called, when you're doing a search, the Utility Smart?
If you're looking for the app on the iTunes App Store, it's Utility Smart. The name of our overall project is Plattsburgh Power.
And Jesse had said last week that it's functional, it's just not finished.
Correct. You can go on the iTunes Store now and you can search for Utility Smart. There's a logo that it's green and blue, looks like a light bulb with a drip of water in it. And you can find the app and you can download it and you can start using it. What's there today is not specifically tailored to the city of Plattsburgh. It's a generic framework that still works. We hope to have the Plattsburgh portion of that up and running in the next 2 weeks.
Can you talk a little bit about, we've talked in the past about this, about our dreams for what we would like an app of this nature to do. You know, like competitions between neighborhoods, and I know that we can't pick up on, you know, the power usage in individual places. But we had also talked about the possibility of, for instance, knowing when the weather is gonna cause us to perhaps spike and sending out an alert. Is that gonna be part of it? Like, you know, don't do the laundry tonight. The temperature's going down to 15.
Yeah, Mr. Tracy has helped us try to identify when that point is, but we don't yet have the data to do it. In the future, with the data we're collecting through the app, we will be able to refine that point, and then we may be able to do it. So we can get an estimate, but we hope to get closer.
So right now, the app isn't going to have any alerts or anything like that?
The app has a Twitter account, and the app has a Facebook page that can send alerts to people that friend and link to it on Twitter or Facebook. So you can send out alerts about your conservation behaviors.
Right.
And your friends can send you their alerts.
Right.
And the app itself, which at this point is me and Jesse, can send out alerts that do some of that geo-referencing, but we have to do it manually at this point.
Right.
So we can say, you know, the folks in the West End are doing a great job of conserving power this morning. You know, SUNY Plattsburgh students get on the ball.
But I could do something like using the Facebook interaction to say, as a counselor, hey, you guys, Ward 5, temperature's dropping tonight, you know, watch your power consumption.
Absolutely.
Power usage goes up when you start getting below 20 degrees and 0, and then you're gonna find yourself in the supplemental power easily.
Right,
This-
right.
This year, we never went below 0 unless something happens in March, excuse
No,
me.
May.
May, could happen in May too. I don't think we're gonna use supplemental power
Right.
this year.
Well, it's something, well, and it's under refinement, but it would be pretty cool to see how many people would respond by just suddenly being conscious enough to not do a load of wash, tonight, because,
Well, what the biggest thing is electric heat.
yes.
Because,
Get out the blankets, folks.
yeah, I mean, if you leave your thermostat at 65 and it's 35, that's one thing. But when it gets to 0, now your heating system has to work twice as hard.
Right.
If it gets to 30 below, your heating system is working 3 times as hard. So you're tripling the amount of energy you're using. And of course, there's other factors to fit in there, whether you covered all the, where the air can get into the house.
Right.
And you got heavy curtains on your windows, or you got lace curtains and so forth. How you've got double panes or single panes, so.
So you would recommend that if the temperature goes down to 15 or 10, that we should drop our thermostats down to 40 to.
Well, you want to keep the, some customers I get called that said, yeah, if you want to keep your electric rate the same, then
Yeah.
that's what you're
Drop
gonna
it to
do.
42.
The only problem is when you get down around there, you're gonna freeze your pipes and you're gonna have another
Right.
problem.
Yeah.
But you can drop it 5 degrees down and, put a sweater on and,
Yeah.
And more water.
I just have a quick question for
Throw an extra
Kurt.
blanket
Just,
on the
the app is free?
The app is free. Yep.
I have a question about money and the cost of putting an insert in. Doesn't have anything to do, I totally support doing this. It's a general question. So please don't take it as a question that has impact on your project. From what line does money to pay for those inserts come, Mr. Chamberlain?
We're not paying for the printing of the inserts.
Right.
No, for no extra postage or anything.
New postage rates dictate there's not gonna be an additional handling cost
Okay.
for that. There would be if it was last year's rates.
Right.
All the 3 copied invoices we sent out would be moved up to a 4-piece, and that would have cost us another 21 cents for about 1,000 items a month. So it'd be another $210, but that's last year's rates. It's all changed this year. So it's just handling costs. It slows us down in getting the bills out, but it's just additional handling.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Thanks, Kurt.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Armstrong?
Yes.
Counselor Kelly?
Yes.
Counselor Dowdle?
Yes.
Counselor Ensel?
Yes.
Counselor Casper?
Yes.
Counselor Kretzer?
Yes.
Resolved in accordance with the request, therefore the common council approves city court painting project be awarded to All Action Painting in the amount of $8,593.16. This amount will be reimbursed by the New York State Unified Court System.
Moved by Counselor Kelly, second by Counselor Ansel. Discussion?
I'd just like to thank Sylvia for the detailed explanation she gave for this. I think that was you, right, Sylvia?
Yeah.
You completed the paperwork, and it was very thorough, and I completely understood at the end, I believe there were 3 bids, and we chose the lowest one and probably the best one, so thank you very much for all that effort.
5 bids, but I only gave you the 3 lowest.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was the way I understood it.
Yes, that's fine, that's fine. That was, thank you so much for doing that. It was really thorough.
Further discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Armstrong?
Yes.
Counselor Kelly?
Yes.
Counselor Dowdle?
Yes.
Counselor Ensel?
Yes.
Counselor Casper?
Yes.
Counselor Kretzer?
Yes.
Resolved in accordance with the request, therefore the common council approves the Apostles for Life to use 2 parking spaces in front of 66 Brinkerhoff Street Friday, April 14th, 2017, from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. for a prayer vigil. Insurance certificate was provided.
Moved by Counselor Kretzer, second by Counselor Dowdle. Discussion.
I'd like to
Councilor
offer an
Conlon.
amendment, as I have in the past, out of respect for those people who walk the sidewalks in order to get to Planned Parenthood. I'm going to suggest an amendment that would ask that the Apostles for Life assemble directly across the street from the 2 parking spaces that they're requesting, so that they face the traffic, their backs are not to the traffic, and there's a space between those people who walk to Planned Parenthood and them.
Is there a second for this amendment? Councilor Kretzer? Discussion.
I'll just mention that when you face traffic, is there going to be something so you don't step in front of traffic if it is set up that way? Yes.
We supply barricades every year.
Okay, so the barricades,
Are going to be on each end of the parking areas, so they don't.
they're on each end.
Right,
On each
so they
end.
have to
But
be in the middle.
Right, but they're not behind them?
No, each parking space is
Okay.
a barricade that's in there.
Right, that's to get the actual space
Right,
designated.
so they have the spaces that's.
Okay,
So you
Would there
could,
be,
so you could step into traffic then,
They, possibility.
where if you're in front of it, you would just step onto the median.
We could provide 2 more barricades, that would stuff that up.
okay, so you're saying if you are facing, if you're nearest to Planned Parenthood,
If you
in
were-
order to get out of the way of traffic, you would step forward?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No, if you were directly in front, if you step forward, you would step onto the median
That's what I
between the
mean.
curb and the sidewalk. If you were
Right.
across the street and you step forward, for one reason or another, you could step into traffic.
Oh, I see.
But
I
not
see
with the
your
additional
point.
barricades that,
Apparently.
that he's proposing.
but those
And-
additional barricades could also be set behind the parking spots in front of them.
Right, it could work either way to prevent cars from pulling in.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that addresses the safety concern. For my part, it doesn't address the appropriate space that I feel would be respectful to those people going to the offices.
And last year's action followed suit to that proposal, did it?
What do you mean?
Which you amended, which you just
It
proposed?
passed last year.
Okay.
Is that what you're asking?
Mhm.
It was the
Okay.
past 3 years.
No,
Oh,
we
no.
skipped 2015, I believe. I think it was passed 2014, 2016. I can't remember exactly how it, but I believe it was defeated, if my memory serves me correctly.
I don't-
So the spaces across the street, I assume, accommodated?
Are you asking if they
I
were
would,
used?
if they were accommodated, if they were used,
Oh, were they used in the past?
the
No.
designated area?
I think there's anecdotal evidence that the group chose, I'm sorry, I can't hear. I think there's anecdotal evidence that you provided, Becky, that said that the Apostles for Life chose not to use those spaces.
I drove by.
Right.
Okay. But it seems it worked well,
What worked well?
being across the street, but
Yeah.
not.
Okay. There was a resolution and then there was the practice that resulted.
Right. Well, I would just assume myself, leave it the way it is. Go ahead. Okay.
Is there any further discussion on the amendment, or would you like
Yeah,
to request any more information
I
from?
would just like to thank Rochelle for attempting to find a mutual combination. I wish it would work.
Yeah, I do too.
Are you prepared to, one of the counselors could invite any questions from the audience? Normally, we have all public comments at the
Sure,
beginning of the meeting.
I don't mind there being commentary.
I just want to say that I thought my hearing aids were working. and-
Oh.
and-
Oh, okay.
But I'm having an awful time hearing everybody.
Oh.
So I don't know.
Do you understand the nature of the amendment that's being offered?
Would you repeat that?
Do you understand the nature of the amendment?
I read this, but
Right.
I don't understand where you're at.
Okay, the amendment that Councilor Armstrong is proposing is that instead of the 2 spaces directly in front of Planned Parenthood, that the spaces are offered across the street.
I understand that.
Okay.
And-
That's the amendment that she's offering to change
would have
this
to invite me.
resolution.
Okay, I hear you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And that's what happened last year as well.
I understand that very
Okay.
well.
Right, okay.
Would you like to invite any other comments or questions?
Dr. Middleton, if you would like to speak.
If I may?
Sure.
Please.
Mr. Mayor and ladies and gentlemen of the council. Yes, we have petitioned this before. We have asked for it before. And the reason that we don't like across the street is sort of like when John Dillinger was asked, why do you rob the bank? That's where the money is. We prefer to be near where the abortions take place. Now, across the street is more dangerous actually than being on the same side of the street where everyone is collected. If you were to imagine a crowd, say maybe 100, might be as few as 50, but a crowd of at least 100, say, going back and forth across the street, that creates a problem. Now, that's one thing to consider. We prefer, very simply, to be in front of the place where the action is taking place. And even though Planned Parenthood provides escorts, we call them Judas goats because they lead the lambs to slaughter. But we have never been in violation. We have never had the police call because we called them, although we've been harassed numerous times in many ways. And so far as I know, the most ludicrous thing we have been called for is bending a blade of grass when somebody's heel slipped over the sidewalk. And even one time, I wasn't present at this occasion, but I even heard that a charge was made against us to a police officer that we were violating, contaminating the environment because some lady sprinkled holy water on the grass. If that's the case, then so be it. We have a prayer group. It is well behaved. We've never had police or a need for police. We have conducted ourselves according to a prayer situation. The people who lead the prayers have been selected. They typically hold a cross while they read a prayer. It's simply a religious ceremony. Nowhere have I found so far any indication that the right of assembly also has a subdivision that you have to keep moving. But we have obeyed all police officers who tell us to keep moving. And there is nobody who stands fixed on the sidewalk. We have obeyed those. We have obeyed all indications of local police who have been called many, many times, but never by us. We have not needed it. We behave ourselves accordingly, and we respectfully ask to be considered. What we're asking is a couple of hours, even though the last 2 years, I believe you approved, last year, you approved 18 parking lots, spaces for different businesses. We're asking for a couple of hours maximum. It usually doesn't last that long. 2 hours maximum, probably closer to 1 hour, but that gives time for people to come and go. We also don't contaminate. We pick up our own trash if there is any. So your consideration, we hope you'll consider favorably. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
If you
you.
have questions, I'll be glad to answer. I'm happy to say that my wife and I started the Right to Life back in 1970. She's here tonight with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm very familiar with the history. I've been involved with all of it since the very beginning. May 25th, 1971 is when we had our first meeting.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Prepared to vote on the amendment? Roll call, please.
Counselor Armstrong?
Yes.
Counselor Kelly?
Yes.
Counselor Dowdle?
Yes.
Counselor Ensel?
Yes.
Counselor Casper?
No.
Counselor Kretzer?
Yes.
We now move back to the motion as amended. Any further discussion?
Or, yeah, no.
Didn't we just vote on the amendment?
Yeah.
We
I thought-
didn't.
Oh, I thought it was the, we voted on the change.
Yeah, what was the amendment we voted?
Oh, yes.
Right,
Okay.
so now
Yes.
we're voting on the item
Original-
as
The
amended.
original.
The original resolution.
As amended.
Okay.
Oh, as amended.
As amended.
As amended.
So
We just finished
voted-
amending it to, if we approve
verbiage.
the event, it'll be in the spots across the street. Now we
Okay.
have to decide to
Gotcha.
approve the event as
It took me a
amended.
minute to.
Further discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Armstrong?
Yes.
Counselor Kelly?
No.
Counselor Dowdle?
No.
Counselor Ensel?
No.
Counselor Casper?
No.
Counselor Kretzer?
Yes.
And that means the motion is defeated?
I think I understand the process now.
We're gonna vote on it as it's stated.
Now we have to vote it on.
You amended it.
No, it was amended.
So-
and
You've
then-
amended it and then you've
So it's
defeated
still-
it.
It's been defeated.
So then they're gonna be in front.
You changed the wording to the amendment, and then you voted on it as amended, and that was defeated. So
Okay.
that's it.
Okay.
So,
Did you
There are
want
no
a
parking
reconsideration?
So no parking
Can they
Oh,
reconsider?
so it's a no to parking spaces.
Exactly.
Okay.
Does this change your votes now that
No.
that's clarified for you?
I guess not.
we wanted them to have the parking spaces.
Across the street.
But you
Correct.
just voted down the parking spaces across the street.
I thought we just voted as amended, which was with the parking spaces across the street.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, let me describe, you
Across the
had a
street.
motion on the table to hold the event. You then voted to amend that motion to, if the event is held, the parking spaces would actually be across the street. You passed that. Now you are voting to decide as amended for an event to be held with the parking spots across the street. And that was actually defeated, which means there's no longer an event.
No
Do you
longer
want
parking
to,
spaces.
there's no longer
Parking spaces.
parking spaces for the event as they proposed. They were asking for parking spaces. You said you would approve it if the parking spaces were across, or you'd consider the event with parking spaces only if they're across the street, and then you voted to not have the event with parking spaces across the street.
Is that how everyone?
No.
Okay, so,
That's not-
so I think,
Didn't
So would you
understand
like
it
to
that way?
reconsider?
yes.
Yes.
I
Would you
don't
like
mind.
further discussion? I think it may be
Yes.
in order
Okay.
then. Okay.
So then a yes vote means that they get 2 parking spaces across the street from Planned Parenthood.
Right. And that was accepted, so that's where it stands right now. The proposal for an event to be held on the state at 66 Brinkerhoff Street with 2 parking spaces across the street provided.
So a yes vote is there will be parking spaces provided across the street. A no
Yeah.
vote means there will be no parking spaces provided at all.
Please, if one of the council would like to invite you.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Is there a discussion?
You know, we elected you people to be our leaders, to help us. And I know you're going to be responsible before God for your decisions and your motives. God is aware of everything you're saying and doing. He knows your motives, and you will answer to him, and you'll just answer to the Lord also.
And I think the way the vote may turn out will be in favor of giving you parking spaces. I think it was just a misunderstanding. I think it may have been a misunderstanding.
It's not what they asked for, it's not what they want, and they will not use it.
Okay.
So let's be clear about that.
Okay. Anyway, so should we just do a revote?
Are you prepared to at this time vote to hold the event as specified at the date and time with 2 spaces allocated across the street.
That's right.
Yes.
Prepared?
Yes, I'm prepared.
Yes.
Roll call?
We did first and second.
It's already been first and seconded, it's been amended.
Yep. Just to be clear then, we'll have the second.
Would you like
I'll bring it up
first to
motion to
reconsider?
reconsider. Motion to
Councilor Presser,
reconsider.
second by Councilor Ansel. Okay.
Sorry.
Discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Armstrong?
Yes.
Counselor Kelly?
No.
Counselor Dowdle?
Yes.
Counselor Ensel?
Yes.
Counselor Casper?
No.
Counselor Kretzer?
Yes.
Motion passes. No travel requests at this time. I believe there's no resolutions for initial consideration. New business and councilor reports.
Oh.
Councilor Kelly.
Just wanted to announce that next Thursday, immediately following the council meeting, we will have the second of our budget hearings, and that will be for the community service group, which off the top of my head includes Public Works,
MLD.
It does not include fire and police because they.
Recreation, I believe.
Recreation.
Community development.
I'll send out an announcement about it.
Yes, it will be Public Works, MLD, Engineering, Environmental Services, and Recreation.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
You are. All right.
He's
March
our
9th.
clerk.
All right.
Teamwork.
And a couple of meetings coming up tomorrow. As I might have mentioned, there's a newly reinvigorated group that's looking at the snow removal issue. We're meeting at 2 o'clock. We have an extra representative from the North Country Center for Independence. Robert Pullen, the director, might be joining us if he can, but he's also designated a board member, Patty King, to join us. And we're thank you to the department heads who supplied information about the enforcement activity for this season so far. I really appreciate that. And also, I think Josh is probably going to tell you about our meeting on Monday with the Strategic Planning Committee.
Yeah, we're having our initial meeting with the Executive Committee for the Strategic Planning Committee for the City of Plattsburgh, and we'll be looking to put together the framework of how we're going to move forward in getting this kind of monumental task accomplished. So it's exciting. More to come.
We did have a meeting with Keith Caio and Chief Lottie at the college about the intersection Broad-Beekman, and they're very supportive of doing a study. In particular, also, they want to study that whole stretch down to Ruger, because students are just not using those crosswalks, and there's a lot of danger there. And they are willing to kick in some money for the study. We just got to find out from Kevin if the study is going to include, you were copied on that, that looking at Broad there to see if we can go to 1 lane. So I'm going to try to get them to give as much as they can.
1 lane each way. It was actually I just had a student get hit last night.
So that's moving.
Any other reports? I might add, Mayor Pro Tem Kretzer and I met earlier today with representatives from the North Country Food Co-op, and we saw their expansion plans. It's very exciting what they plan to do there, and I think it's going to be open, they said, in just 1 or 2 weeks from now. So please check it all out for yourself. Any other comments? At this time in the meeting, we also give you another opportunity to come and address the council on any issue that may concern you and the council, even beyond issues that we dealt with in the agenda tonight. Seeing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Councilor Armstrong, second by Councilor Dowdle. Roll call.
Counselor Armstrong?
Yes.
Counselor Kelly?
Yes.
Counselor Dowdle?
Yes.
Counselor Ensel?
Yes.
Counselor Casper?
Yes.
Counselor Kretzer?
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
I know. That went through my mind.
I'm really not. Sure.
Oh my God. Oh, sorry. I just.
That's up today.
What do you call it? Your government class, right?